Morning. How are we doing, everyone? Hope we're all good today. What a beautiful November's morning it is today here, eh? Well, busy day ahead of us. Where do I start? What have I been up to? It's been a couple of weeks since my last video. I've been quite busy. I've been tinkering around here on the farm with me tractors. Where do I start? Let's. I have bought myself another tractor. I couldn't resist. What can I say? I'm weak. But it was a bit of a bargain. As you know, I've had the this 8210, and I bought its big brother, the 8410. Again, it's got a few hundred hours on it, and it was something of a bargain. I picked it up for £6.5 grand. But it's a beast, and they look good together, don't you think? Got the big twin wheels on it. Oh, and I also picked up the set of BKTs that I wanted for this. So as you can see, that's now sitting a bit wider. Yeah. So I have figured out what I'm going to do with these tree logs. I leased a front-mounted wood chipper and a trailer from Joe yesterday. Pretty straightforward to use. I've got it all hooked up in here on the T7. As you see that, there we go. Essentially, you just feed them into the front here, and this thing chews them up and spits them into the trailer here. So, and I've had a look in the local papers, and the best place I can take it to at the minute is the local farmers market, who will pay me, I think it's about $230, $240 a ton for these wood chips. So that's going to be the first job of the day. Oh yeah, and I bought myself a mower. This John Deere HX20 batwing type thing. Quite happy with that. But I've also been tinkering, as I say. I quite simply, what you can do with some newspaper, some masking tape, and a few rattle cans. I've given them both a clean up. And another thing I did, as you might notice, this looks a little bit different from what it used to, because I got rid of those ridiculous rear floater wheels that Dad had put on it years ago. So I've put some, and I just exchanged them. Joe had a set of these lying around in the workshop there, so I've essentially just straight swapped. I gave him those great big floater tyres, and he gave me these, so I've fitted them on. Looks a bit more normal now, I think. And both of these tractors, obviously, they were well used. They're very old, and I picked up a load of rattle cans and masked everything off with the masking tape and newspaper, and just gave it a bit of a tart up with some with some spray paint. So I think they look pretty good, don't you think? I do love this farm. I'll always have a soft spot for this thing, and I just think it looks brilliant. It does need a bit of mechanical work doing. It runs, it's fine. It's still got a hell of a lot of power with that Cummins diesel engine. And I will go through the engine at some point, but it does run, it works fine. As you can see, it's over here, it's got here under its own steam. It's been sat in the workshop here for a few days after just letting the paint dry off. But yeah, I hope you'd agree, I think they look pretty good. And I also picked up this windrower to help me along with the grass jobs, which is another thing I've got to get on with today. I am going to be doing the grass work for Amos again, but what he has asked me, a bit of a favour he asked of me. He said, could I do half grass and feed it into his fermenting silo, and bale the other half for him into grass bales, so he can feed them into his cows as well. So we're going to borrow his baler, we're going to borrow his forage wagon and his baler, but I'm going to use my mower and windrower to set up the grass first, get it cut, get it mowed, get it windrowed, and pick up half and bale half, which is going to be the next job to do after this wood chipping. So, but yeah, this is quite a thing to get working. As I say, you literally I can essentially just lower it down because it runs off the front PTO shaft of this tractor. This is the only tractor I can use this machine on, because the T7 is the only one I've got that's got a front PTO. So essentially I just drop it down, turn it on, drive up to these logs, and it just chews them up and spits them into the trailer behind, which is absolutely brilliant. It's much easier than trying to use my Mack truck as the trailer. It's better if it's attached to the tractor. So yeah, so I'll just spend the next few hours feeding these into that, and I'm not too sure how many trailer loads I'll get out of these. It might only be 1 or maybe 2, but the trailer holds, I think, about 29,000 litres, I think. So as I say, we'll find out how much I get. But there's a potential today I might actually make a little bit of money, as opposed to my usual characteristic of just spending it and spending it. So yeah, that's the day's work ahead so far. So let's get into it. Let's get some wood chipping done. Right, so if I essentially just, let's have a look. If I lower it down, turn it on, and just drive carefully up to the front here. I do need to... There we go, look at that. It's making light work of those, isn't it? Goodness me. Wow. Okay. Let's see how many more we can get in here and make our first trip to the farmer's market and see if we can make a couple of dollars. Doesn't really matter what state I leave these. It's piling, does it? I can just... Look at that. Easy money. I think that might be us full. So yeah, I think we'll... Sounds like we'll probably get 2 trailers out of this. So let's... I'll just turn that off for now. And I'll just leave it here. I jump out. Disconnect those hoses and the PTO. Drop that down. Job's a good one. Right, let's have a quick look. Yeah, that does look pretty full, doesn't it? Right. Let's go see how much we can make. So yeah, Joe told me that the this farmer's market place is up to the north end of the town. He said turn right at the fuel station here and right again somewhere up here. Where are we? That's definitely not it. Not in there. This must be it up here, I think. Yeah, this is us in here, I think. It's that one on the right. Big green roof, that's the one. There we go. So, let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we get. That'll do nicely. $2,770. Not bad at all for a few logs, if you ask me. So, let's go back for the, what I think is just going to be the second and last trailer load. But yeah, for, what, $5,000 for a pile of tree trunks? Pretty chuffed with that, that'll do. Better than nothing. Better than taking up a load of space in the yard. So, back home. Fields are looking very healthy, don't you think? Look very good indeed. I'm really happy with these. Right. Load number 2. Right. I suppose the first thing to do is get this angry wee beastie hooked back up again. Careful, careful. It is quite a thing though, isn't it? The light work it makes of these tree trunks. I think that should be us. Let's get the PTO and the cables. Yeah, that's working. Right. So let's get that one in first. Turn her on. There we go. Lovely stuff. And now this last pile. Oh, it's having difficulty with these ones, isn't it? In fact, let's try attacking them from the end, shall we? Spin it round. Turn you back on again. Go on. There we go. Seem to be just pushing them further and further into the ditch, don't I? No, that's not going to work. I'm pretty sure there's still capacity in there to get those last couple in. Well, maybe not actually. Goodness me. Okay. Power that down for a second. Might have to come back for those ones as well, because the trailer looks pretty full. So, hoses, PTO, wood nasher. Let's get this load tipped and we'll get those last couple of stragglers on the last run. So, see you back there in a few. In fact, just thinking about it, I might need to pull those stragglers out of the ditch using the telehandler, just to be safe. So another job I'll have to do when we get back, but it's worth doing it because I think after this load's tipped, I'll be almost knocking on the door of $5,000. So that's pretty good. So if I can get north of that, that's even better. So see you back there in a minute anyway. Great stuff. Same again. Another $2,770. So let's go and get those last couple of tree logs, get them out of the way, and we'll get the chipper and trailer returned to Joe at Clever Motors, and then I think it's grass mowing time. Right, let's pop and have a look at this for a second, shall we? Because I don't want to be driving in my crop, which is right up to the bed there. Oh heck, what am I going to do here? Got myself in a right pickle here, haven't I? I think I might just see if I can try and use the forks, the tines of the telehandler, and just see if I can slide them under here and see if I can pick them up. It's the only thing I can think of at the minute. Right, sorry about that. I needed both hands, so let me just very slowly try and edge this out of here. Oh, one's coming off. Oh, you lucky thing. I can just slowly get these back out of here and tip them onto the ground. Oh, one has come off. Oh, just my luck. Well, hang on, let me check I'm not reversing into the trailer. So, if I just tip these nicely onto the ground, back up a bit. There we go. Right, that's them out of the ditch anyway. I'll go and grab that other one there. And then get them chewed up with the wood chipper. You know, I was thinking as well, to get this mowing done this afternoon, I'm going to use the 4040. Give that a bit of a run. I know I've got it all cleaned and it's freshly painted and stuff, and I'll just end up getting it dirty again, but May as well give it a run, don't I? Get the oil flowing. It'll cope with the mower. The mower doesn't require a lot of power. So, yeah. That'll be a bit of fun. So, anyway. Next thing. Let's get the wood chipper hooked up for the last time. And get these logs chipped away. Sold to the farmer's market. And then I can take these two things back. Oh, I'm going to have to get in on a tight angle here though, aren't I? That should be about right, I think. A few more inches. I reckon that'll do. Let's get this hooked up again. PTO. Cables. There we go. Right. Let's get these logs picked up. Okay, this should be easy work now. Come on, don't let me down. Come on, eat. Oh, not the last one. There we go, there we go. Lovely stuff. Right, turn you off, lift you up. Have we got another full load? There was only a few logs, but they were big ones. We got a bit. We got a bit. Okay, right. I'm going to take the chipper with me now, so I'll drop that back off at Clever Motors on the way back. So, for the last time this morning, let's make our way to the farmer's market, sell these wood chips, and I think it's not even 9 o'clock yet, and I might have made a few $1,000 before 9 o'clock today, so this is a start of a good day. Yeah, right. See you there in a mo. Well, that was way better than I thought. It's presently 8:55 in the morning, and I have made $8,182 selling those leftover logs from the landscaping work that we did the other week. I'm chuffed with that. That's well good. So, let's get the chipper and trailer sent back to Joe. Get these out of the way, and then we shall go and do some mowing. So, see you soon. Right, there we go. Job done. Machinery dropped off, and he's picked himself up a bit more stock. Look at those things. I think that's what Uncle Mike's got in it, an 1167. But look at that. What a beast. That and all. Forage harvester. Krone Big X1180. Wow. What a thing. Oh, he's got a bit of Krone equipment actually today, hasn't he? But yeah, he's got some lovely things. Look at that. An old farm all. That's a bit beautiful. I love an old Ford. That looks a bit battered, doesn't it? And what's that? A Volvo. Wow. Rare to these parts. But check this out as well. He's picked up one of the old farm rescue machines. Now this is a hell of an organisation. If any of you haven't heard of the farm rescue organisation, it's an incredible thing. Funded entirely by donations. They help farm families who've been through a crisis, whether that's medical or a natural disaster. But they can pretty much cope with anything. If unfortunately people have experienced natural disasters like hurricanes or nasty medical emergencies, they rally round, they come together, and they can pretty much cover anything. They can harvest, they can plant, they can bale, they can look after livestock, and it's all funded by donations. So if any of you can, if any of you are ever in a position to help out with that kind of thing, farmrescue.org. Check them out. It's an incredible thing. I think this S790 is in for some work, to be honest. It definitely needs a clean. Looks a bit worn, so maybe it's just having a bit of work done. But yeah, check them out if you can. Right, anyway, on with the day. Let's get back in this. What should I do first? I think I'm going to hook the 4040 up to the mower and get the grass cut. I'm going to use the 8210 to run the forage trailer, and I'm going to give the 8410 a run with the baler, because that's got a bit more oomph than the 82, so I am quite keen to get that thing working and get it out in the fields. So let's get home, get some equipment hooked up and get busy. Right, here we are. Let's... In fact, no, we'll just leave this out here for today for now. Just stick it here. Need to get that weight hook back up to it anyway. So let's just dump that there for now. I did it again, didn't I? Born in a barn. Let's close that door. And for the first time in a long time, let's get in here. Oh, look at that. First time. Beauty. Right. One man went to mow and all that. Let's get this hooked up here. Should be about right. Yeah, that might do. There's that. Cables and PTO. That looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? Right. Let's get this into the fields. I'm quite excited for this, to be honest. It's been a long time since this thing's done some work. There he is. It's a dog's life, isn't it? But yeah. Let's get a bit of dirt on it. Right, here we are. In the grass field. Let's get this mower unfolded. Yep, a bit close to the fence there. Let's pull away. Oof, just. Get it dropped down. Spin her up. It's alright. There we go, right. Let's get mowing.
those little moments, the bus you didn't catch, me looking over your shoulder, just at the right time. Those little moments, all let me only got you about. All those little moments. All those little moments.
Right, there we go. Let's power this thing down. Hold her up. Jump out and have a look. Another good job well done there, if I don't say so myself. Looks like it's a pretty decent yield, but we'll see what we make from it when we sell it to Amos. As I say, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this yet, but half of it's going to be baled and half of it's going to be foraged up and fed into the fermenting silo over at Amos's farm. So we'll figure that one out shortly, but I need to row it up first. So, and I think I'm going to stick with this 4040 for now because I'm really enjoying driving this thing around today. So let's take the mower back, get the windrow attached, and come straight back here. Rightio, let's get this mower parked up for now. I think I'll just leave it out here for the afternoon. Stick it next to the T7 for now. That will do. There we go. Right. Hoses, PTO, drop that down. Oh, hang on, and I need to open the door so I can get in and get this rower out. Da-da-da. Right. Close the door behind me. Do love that door. Okay. Back we go. Reckon that should do. Cables, PTO, cables, done. Right. Back to the field. Back again. This time I definitely need to make sure I leave a good bit of space either side. So, let's lower this thing down first. It is a nice bit of kit, this. But it is a real pain in the arse to reverse, if any of you have never done that before. It's got rear dolly wheels that just have a mind of their own, and reversing this is an absolute nightmare. But, anyway, let's just quickly edge ourselves up to the edge of the field nicely. I reckon that'll do. Spin her up. There we go. Right. Let's get our rows on. Okay, job done. Didn't take too long. Let's get that folded up. Jump out and have a quick eyeball over the field. Yeah, it's a good windrow, that good bit of kit. As frustrating as it is to reverse. It's done a good job. Decently spaced out. Yeah, so, right, and the way I think I'm going to approach this, with Amos wanting essentially like half and half foraged and half baled, I think I'm going to forage up the headlands and I'm going to bale up the centre rows. I think that's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. So, let's get this thing back into the yard, and I reckon I'm going to use... What am I going to use? What do I need to do first? I'm going to forage. So, do you know what? No, we'll use the 8410 for this one, because it is quite a big forage trailer. I'm a bit worried the 84 might still be a bit small. It is a powerful tractor. I think it's about 280 horsepower, I think. So it's got more than enough grunt to pull the forage wagon. But I do remember it being physically quite a big thing, so... but yeah, we'll give it a go. I am very keen to get in the 8410 and give it a few hours work. So, as I say, let's get this thing back into the workshop. I'm going to do my very best not to thoroughly embarrass myself. Reversing it. There he is. Dog. So, let's see how badly I can do this, shall we? Because as I say, it's really tough to do this because those rear wheels have just got a mind of their own. Got to do it really slowly. Be really careful on the accelerator. Oh, now I've said it, I'm not doing it too bad. When I've tried putting this in here, it was all over the place. Oh, okay. I stand corrected. I'm going to say that was a one-off, though. You can guarantee next time I do it, it'll be jackknifing all over the place. Right, cables, PTO, drop that down. Let's... In fact, I'll just stick this out the front here as well. For now. Give that new paint a bit of sun. Right, off. Okay. So, actually, before we go get the 8410, let's get all these doors closed. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And the parking. Right. Let's go get in my new John Deere. Right. Here we are. Welcome to my my new office for the next few hours. My new tractor. It is a beast, though, I'll be honest. But pooch. Right. Off to Amos's. Go get the forage wagon. And back to the grass field. Here we are. Amos's very pretty farm, if I'm honest. Oh, hello. Look at that. Right, I shall just give him a knock and let him know I'm here. And see how he wants me to do things. Right, okay. All good here. He's told me that he will give me $327 per grass bale. And he's going to pay me, I think it was the same as before, about just over $144 per tonne for the loose grass. So, loose grass first. We shall reverse in here. Goodness me. Withered. Right. I would be wary of how wide this thing is, because it does have these vast tyres on it. Job done though, look at that. Right. PTO, cables. Seems alright, I think. For some reason I had it in my mind that this tractor would still seem quite dwarfed in front of this forest trailer, but no, it seems to be about right. So, onwards. Back to the grass field. We'll forage up the headlands, as I said before, and we will bale up the centre rows. But that's a nice thing, isn't it? In fact, I think that was the one that we saw ages ago, sat outside Clever Motors. You want to have a quick peek? An 8R410. Yeah, I think this was the one there. Didn't realise it was Amos's. That's a lovely thing. Again, the bigger brother to this. Newer brother, at least, anyway. Right, anyway. Forage. Let's get it done. Okay, so we have foraged almost all of the headlands. We've done about 2.5 headlands. And I think based on what I can see in the field there, I'm going to call it that for the foraging, and we'll bail the rest for Amos. Seems about 50-50. There wasn't as much in the centre rows as I thought there might have been, so we're going to take this last forage load over to the fermenting silo, and then we will park the forage trailer up, pick up the baler, and go from there and get baling. I'm pretty sure this 8410, which I'm very impressed with, I must say. I'm pretty impressed with this. It's a good tractor. I know, I fully appreciate that for the sake of the foraging that these big wheels, these 8 wheels on this tractor are a bit overkill, but I just wanted to get it out in the field, get it running, get using it for a bit, see what it's like. And I'm really chuffed with it. It's a beast. So, yes, let's get this load tipped, as I say, and we'll get the baler picked up and we'll crack on with that. So, catch you shortly. Right, so last one of 3 loads tipped from the forage trailer. Going in pretty well, I think. And then I reckon, if I'm careful enough, if I just swing it round, I should be able to just go straight in here. Should be able to squeeze through that gap, pop the forage trailer back, and then back round this side, pick up the baler. That is a big baler, isn't it? But yeah, should be okay. Right, let's jump in and get switched over. So I reckon if I just to give myself a decent angle into getting back into that workshop, if I swing it round here and just straight line it, I do hope I'm not too wide for that gap. Oh, look at that. Right, that will do, I reckon. Perfect. Okay, so let's get this thing unhitched. And we shall get ourselves hitched up to the baler. Back at the front here. Right. Have to go in on a bit of an angle. Nope, that's not going to work. That should do us. Okay. And the PTO. Job done. Right, that's us out of there with the baler. So, again, back to the field. Let's see how many bales we can get out of what we've got left. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the good old pickup truck and the gooseneck trailer to load the bales onto, and in order to load the bales I'm going to possibly borrow that lovely little case tractor of Amos's that's over there, the red one. He does have a bale spike, so I'm going to hop back. Actually, how am I going to do that? I'll need to get back over here, pick up the case with the bale spike. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But let's get all this baled up first, and we'll just take the day from there. Right, there we go. We have got, out of everything that we had left from the grass there, after foraging, 9 bales, 240 centimetre bales. So there's 6,500 litres each, I think. So there's only 9 bales, but there's a pretty decent quantity of grass in each one. So that should see Amos's cows alright for a bit. Now, regarding this field needs a good ploughing. Now that it's had a couple of cuts from it, it needs, as the other fields got, it needs a good coating of fertiliser and lime and a good ploughing under. But what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to try and do this in the correct order this time, as opposed to what I did last time, where I seeded fields and then I decided to muck around with them and join bits together, etc. I'm going to do a bit more landscaping, and I'm going to get rid of these trees here, and just to give the area of this field a bit of an increase. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the line of the brook that's here. So I'm going to cut this field, I think, essentially from here. I'm going to cut it and follow the line of the brook around. So everything to my right here will be turned into land, into arable land. Join the field up about here, roughly, or where am I? About here. And do the same with this area here as well. So essentially what I'm going to be looking at doing is cutting all the trees down, all the big logs. I will do what I've just done before, where I'll just borrow that chipper and trailer again from Joe and make a few quid out of them, and the rest of them I'll just burn in a fire. The trees that I can't salvage into big logs and get chipped. But it will, so I'll get some money from the logs, I'll increase the size of this field, and then once all that is done, then I will plough the whole field under as one, and fertilise and lime, and then reseed with grass. So that next cut, as it were, for Amos, there'll be more grass, there'll be more chance of bales, etc. And it should, with the addition of nutrition, the lime, the fertiliser, and a good ploughing under and essentially starting from scratch, I should be able to bring my yield back up to a much better number than what it is now. I don't think it's been too bad now. It's certainly not been too bad. This is the second cut, obviously. But yeah, so that's the plan. When I get round to that, I'm not too sure. I could go haywire myself with me chainsaw and cut these trees down, which I may do. I may do it in bits. But that's the idea, and you know what I'm like. It'll probably be done in the next couple of days, knowing me. But for now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back to Amos, drop his baler off, and then I'm going to come home in the tractor, obviously, and then I'm going to pick up the pickup truck and the gooseneck trailer, go back to Amos's and pick up the case tractor and the bale spike on the gooseneck and bring it all over here as one, and then load up the gooseneck with the bales, take those all over to Amos's place, and then come back and pick up the case tractor and put it back on the trailer and take it over to Amos's, so I'm not left stuck at one end without a vehicle to get home. So enough of me waffling, let's jump back in this beast, which I know I've said it already, but I love this tractor. It's an absolute weapon. Got a hell of a load of grunt, and it's just great. Yes, I know, as I said before, I know maybe the big 8 tyres are a bit of an overkill, but I'm a sucker for a big wide tractor, what can I say? So, right, over to Amos's. Right, so let's get this baler parked up in here. Perhaps better watch where I'm going this end first, haven't I? Where are we? Right, that should do. I think we'll stick it on the other side this time, just for now. Actually, no, we won't, because that's where his bale spike is, and I'm going to need to pick that up shortly, so we shall just do our best to neatly pop that there. That should do. Lovely. Right, okay. Jump out here. Get this baler off. PTO, drop that down. Yeah, that'll do for me. That will do for me. And we're going to need that on the back of the case as well, aren't we? Because those bales will pretty much tip that tractor, because it's not a big one. So, right. And that's what we're going to be using there. But I think I'm missing something here, aren't I? Because if I take that tractor on the gooseneck trailer over to the field, load up the trailer with bales, and then bring the bales back here, I'm not going to have anything to unload it with here. Right. Okay. Yeah. Conundrum. Leave it with me. Well, conundrum solved. A simple phone call to Amos and the problem is solved. Amos is going to drive the case tractor with the weight and the bale spike over to the field because he understands I can't do it all myself. I've only got one pair of hands, one pair of feet, and I can only drive one thing at a time. So he's going to bring that over. He's going to load the bales in the field onto the flatbed, and then I can take the trailer of bales over to his farm and he can bring the case back. Job done. So let's go pick up the truck and trailer and we'll meet Amos in the field. Right, gooseneck's hit stop. Let's just get the cables attached and then get this thing out into the field. Amos is on his way over now in the case. A bit gutted really because I was quite looking forward to having a drive of that little red thing. But what can you do? Gotta get the job done. So I shall pull up in here and wait for him to arrive, and we'll get these bales on. I think what I'll do is I'll stick it somewhere in the middle of the field so he's not having to travel back and too far. I'll stick it in the middle and should be about right. So there we go. That should do. Turn off. And let's wait for him to arrive. Here he comes. Right, let's get this job done, get these bales loaded up, and get done for the day. Oh, came in a bit fast there, mate. Right, let's get it sorted. Right, that's Amos done. He's loaded up the bales onto the trailer. He's going to take that back over to his farm. We shall get these things strapped on. Make sure they don't come off. That's pretty good, that'll do. Perfect. Right, let's get these back over, get them unloaded at his end, and I think then it might be a bit of an early finish for me today. We've actually earned some money. I think in total, the bales and the foraged grass, he is going to be paying me $8,095. So I think that's pretty good for most of a day's work. Pretty chuffed with that. So let's get ourselves... Whoa, these are heavy. Let's get ourselves back over to the farm, to Amos's place, get these bales unloaded, and then come back home. We'll figure out what time it is from there, and if there's anything else we can do, we will, but I might give myself a bit of a break today. Whoa! Goodness me. Better keep this thing in a straight line. Right, carefully, back over to Amos's farm. Right, here we are. Okay, Amos's. I tell you what, it's been a bit risky with these bales on this trailer. There must be a heck of a lot of weight back there, because this truck is all over the place. Right, we'll just dump it there for now. And they're all still on there, thankfully, but yeah, that was a sketchy drive. Right, let's get these unstrapped and figure out where Amos wants them going. I'll have to play a bit of musical tractors here because I think he wants them putting in this barn here. So if I just jump in this lovely thing here for a second and shift it out of the way, I shall just pop it over here for now out of the way so I can do, and then we'll jump in this and get the bales off. Right. Okay, that's the last two. We shall just stick these neatly down here with the others. I've left one on the outside because he's gonna chuck that in the cow field for him in a bit. Give him something to eat. If I very carefully just lift this up and over, and then I can get out of here without too much of a hassle. There we go. Lovely stuff. Right. So we shall stick this roughly back where it was before. Over there. Into that trailer. That'll do nicely for now. I'll pop that down there. That will do. That's an awesome little tractor though. Right, let's pop in and see Amos and settle up with him and then get back home. Yep, brilliant. $8,095 from Amos there, transferred over on the bank account, so a good day's work if I don't say so myself. And it's only just turned 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, for a change, I can say that I haven't actually spent any money today. Although I suppose aside from the rental of the wood chipper and trailer, but technically that was yesterday, so not counting that. But I've actually made a few dollars today for a change. Right, anyway. Home. Lunch. Right, home. Here we are. So I think I'll get this gooseneck trailer popped away for now. Stick it back in here where it belongs. I'll just give it a bit of an angle on there, I think. That'll do nicely. Have a quick peek out. It's hard work reversing this big thing over, I must admit. Come on. Nope. I can do this, I promise. Oh, look at that. Tight. But we're in. That'll do, I think. Straighten that in there. Yeah, that'll do. Right, let's disconnect those hoses. Fold the deck down and let go. There we go. Right. Got the doors. Maybe not quite as neat and straight as it was before, but hey ho. Right, so what do I need to do? I'll stick this back on the drive. And then I think I just need to clear up a few bits. I need to stick the weight back on the T7. There we go. Yeah, I need to put the mower and the 4040 away, put the weight back on the T7. And then I think I'm going to call it a day today. It's gone a bit gloomy and cloudy, hasn't it? There's not much more I can do, really. I've made some money, as I've said before. We've mowed the grass, cut the grass, foraged it, baled it, sold it to Amos. And now, what's next? I think the next big job I've got to do, as I say, is the alterations to that grass field before I reseed it. I'm going to do a bit of landscaping in those tree areas, get those trees cut down, get the logs prepared for the wood chipper machine again, and burn the excess trees, and then plough the whole thing under. So, yep, I'll leave you be now, but I'm going to get these put away, and I'll see you next time.